I remember a few days ago dropping off a friend and driving down the road. Then everything started getting dimmer and I felt weak as if I was falling asleep. No matter what I did I couldn't wake, like passing out, but the weird thing was I didn't crash where I remember blanking out, I crashed about 5 miles after that. Anyhow, I blanked out. I felt calm at first because I really did not know what was going on. Then I saw this road. I was going down the same road passing the same sign over and over and over again. I had to think, did I turn? Did I go straight? What is this? I felt confused. After about a minute of recurring the same sign, the same road, then it became dark. A speck in the middle of sight and I didn't know what this was, then objects moving that I didn't understand. I didn't know who or what I was. I didn't know what I was staring at. I thought I was a computer or a robot and what I was staring at was some sort of thing. I cannot describe. It was irritating and I felt afraid that I would be stuck like that forever. I could talk, I cried. Then I remember knowing the purpose of life, why we are all here on earth. I remember it was as if someone was speaking to me. I felt disgusted and ashamed, but I don't remember what that purpose was. For some reason life doesn't make sense when you're dead and death doesn't make sense when you're alive. A lady who was with me, softly spoke, "It's okay, everyone goes through this." That did not calm me down. I was so terrified that I would be stuck like that. Then, I remember seeing people in the past, like my father. When I was face to face to my father, I felt afraid. "Did you steal this?" he said to me. "No." I replied, and then he asked it again, about 10 times with the same movement as if it was rewound and replayed. When I told the truth I have to go on to the next person, I lied to. "Did you do this to this?" "No." Then, when I had lied again, I ended up all the way back to my father. I had to tell the truth no matter how much crap I thought I would be in. I wanted it to end and I wanted it to fast forward, so I chose to tell the truth throughout to all of the people I have lied to. I was out for 6 hours or so. But on the other side it felt like I was there for a week going through these things, learning. I smoked a little pot that day before driving. That was the worst mistake of my life. I smoked pot before and drove, but nothing like this happened. I guess I really pissed God off, and he showed me a lesson. I remember being under a light and people were around me. I tried to ask them what was going on, but they were repeating themselves. Everyone was repeating themselves. I felt stuck in time for a while, like that wouldn't ever go away, and each time I was afraid it would be stuck like that for eternity. I felt confused, terrified, and disgusted throughout this whole process. I did wake up once in the vehicle. I crashed and blood was all over the steering wheel and I felt my face and blood was dripping off my hands. No, you don't ever want to go through that. The window was shattered. You don't know where you are or who you are. You don't know what people are. You see images and they slowly appear as if you were a hard drive plugged back in. As if those things that we see every day were actually our imagination. I spit out glass and teeth, my fiancé sitting next to me without a scratch asking me if I was okay, repeating himself. Then he walked away and I was scared of being alone and ditched to die again, so I tried to crawl after him. I told him I loved him 1,000,000 times. Then he leaves because he didn't know what road we were on that we crashed on, but I didn't know that I forgot we crashed. I didn't know who I was or who he was, but he was a living thing and I could talk to him, so I didn't want him to leave, so I yelled for him and screamed and cried, shaking, terrified. Then I passed out again and drifted in and out while the ambulance came to take me and I felt so much pain. I kept hearing glass shatter and my ears ringing, and then I heard something say that I needed to speak up more because I was cold. Something told me that if I do the right thing, I get things in return that make me feel good instead of miserable. I was strapped when I drifted out again. My blood pressure was only 8. Then they zapped me and I guess somewhere along there I bit a huge hole in my tongue that I'm feeling really bad right now. I have glass and chemical burns from the airbag on my face and a beaten-up head. I remember seeing God last night. He was trying to make me feel better and said, I could invent a breakfast station suited with all the breakfast goods. You plug it in and when you wake up, everything's cooked for you. He was trying to entice me because I couldn't eat. God has a humor too. But I learned to love him, and he is our Father. Without his teachings, we wouldn't be anything. That is what he taught me,